Welcome back to our podcast where we dive deep into the waters of astrology, one placement at a time. And today, podcast, we're setting our sights on Mercury in the ninth house, a placement that stretches the mind, reaches across borders, and fuels a lifelong quest for meaning and truth. So, whether you have this placement in your birth chart or you're just here to learn how Mercury expresses itself in this expansive domain, you're in for a journey that spans philosophies, languages, cultures, and worldviews. So, what is Mercury in astrology? Before we dive into house specifics, let's set the stage. Mercury, as a planet, governs the mind. It's our thought process, how we communicate, our learning style, and how we interpret the data we receive from the world around us. Mercury rules Gemini and Virgo, and its energy is curious, analytical, witty, fast, and often restless. When Mercury is strongly placed in a chart, it tends to make someone highly articulate, observant, and mentally active. But how and where that mental energy is focused depends a lot on the house placement. So, what is the ninth house? Now, the ninth house is the house of higher education, philosophy, long distance travel, and spirituality. It's where we seek to understand the bigger picture. Think of it as the house of expansion of the mind, not in a short term, detailed focus way like Mercury's usual flavor, but in a why are we here? What is truth? And how do I fit into the cosmos kind of way? It's traditionally associated with Sagittarius and ruled by Jupiter, so there's a big, bold, explorative energy here. When any planet lands in the ninth house, it tends to take on the expansive philosophical tone. Mercury in the ninth house, the philosopher's mind. When Mercury lands in the ninth house, it blends the quicksilver logic of Mercury with the sweeping, idealistic nature of the ninth house. This placement tends to create someone who is intellectually adventurous. These individuals aren't content with surface level facts. They want to go deeper. They often seek out truth through reading, traveling, studying, and having deep conversations. They may be drawn to philosophy, religion, sociology, anthropology, political theory, or even metaphysics, but not necessarily in an academic way. They want real world application. They are the type who will read a book on Buddhism, then book ticket to Thailand to experience it firsthand. The key traits: curious about big ideas. These people are mentally drawn to the abstract question like what is the meaning of life or what unites all religions. Are Mercury in the ninth house favorites? Loves to travel mentally and physically, whether it's literal travel or intellectual exploration. They crave new perspectives. Skilled at storytelling or teaching, Mercury here often produces great teachers, authors, translators, or public speakers. Lifelong learners. They usually pursue education in some form their entire lives, formal or self-guided. Strength of the Mercury in the ninth house. Let's celebrate what this placement does really well. Big picture thinking. Mercury in the ninth can connect that others miss. They're capable of weaving together different systems of thought into a cohesive worldview. Cross-cultural fluency. They often excel at languages or understanding foreign cultures. They might pick up a second or third language quickly or have a knack for translating complex ideas across cultures. Inspiring communicator. Because of their idealistic bent, they often inspire others through speech or writing. Think professors, authors, or motivational speakers. Open minded, unless afflicted, this Mercury placement loves hearing diverse viewpoints. They're usually more interested in exploring perspective than defending a rigid belief. Challenges of Mercury in the ninth house. Of course, no placement is without its shadows. Mercury in the ninth can sometimes get lost in the clouds. Restless mind. They can be easily bored with details and crave constant stimulation. Intellectual elitism. If they study a lot, they might unconsciously look down on others who haven't explored the same topics. overthinking belief system. Sometimes they intellectualize things that are better felt. They can get stuck trying to think their way to truth instead of experiencing it. Scattered focus. With so many big ideas swirling around, it can be hard to commit to one path or complete a course of study. Mercury in the ninth by sign. Now let's briefly explore how Mercury in the ninth might express differently based on zodiac sign. Mercury in Sagittarius, natural ruler of the ninth house, exuberant, passionate, can be blunt, loves debates and grand ideas. Mercury in Scorpio in the ninth, deeply philosophical, psychological, aware, and seeks transformative truths. Mercury in Pisces in the ninth, intuitive learner, poetic communicator, may learn best through images, dreams, or emotion. Mercury in Capricorn in the ninth, structured thinker, values traditional knowledge or academic credentials. Mercury in Gemini in the ninth, highly versatile, might teach, write, and speak multiple languages, can become a knowledge channel. Mercury in Virgo in the ninth, seeks precision in spiritual or ethical philosophy, may research detailed religious or medical texts. You can expand this for all the 12 if desire. Um, yeah, if you want to me to expand. So here's the Mercury transit your ninth house. It's great time for planning a trip. Yeah, if Mercury is transiting on your ninth house, it is a good time for planning a trip. Studying for exams, publishing or pitching writing, taking up a new language or spiritual practice. In synastry, if someone's Mercury falls in your ninth house, their communication may stimulate your worldview. You may find their ideas uplifting, enlightening, or even life changing. It's a beautiful aspect for teacher student dynamics or relationship where growth is key. Some famous people in with Mercury in the ninth is Carl Jung, a psychologist deeply influenced by philosophy, mythology, and religion. J.K. Rowling, a world builder and storyteller extraordinary, whose books are rich with philosophical themes. Of course, J.K. Rowling from Harry Potter. Um, those are the inspirational people. So, journal prompts and self inquiry. To wrap up, uh, wait. Here are some journal prompts for those with displacement. So, what truths am I seeking through my studies or travels? How can I share my beliefs in a way that uplifts others? Where do I need to ground my ideas into practical application? Or what cultures or philosophy am I drawn to and why? Those are the self reflective questions to internalize this placement. And I can give you some career for this placement. Career example. So, first, teacher or professor, especially higher education. Mercury governs teaching in the ninth house, governs higher learning. So, ideal for philosophy, literature, history, religion, and or political science professors. Writer, author, or blogger on global or philosophical topics. Great for writing about travel, cultural studies, ethics, spirituality, or comparative religion. Also strong in journalism, especially international or investigative reporting. Translator or linguist. Mercury rules language. The ninth house rules foreign cultures. These individuals may excel in learning or teaching multiple languages or working as interpreters. Travel industry professional could be a travel journalist, tour guide, travel agent, or cultural liaison. Combines mental curiosity with real world exploration. Lawyer or legal scholar. Mercury's logic and the ninth house connection to ethics and justice make this is a strong placement for law. They may work in international law, immigration, or constitutional law. Public speaker or motivational speaker. The ninth house lends inspiration. Mercury brings the words. So these people often uplifts others through big picture insights. religious or spiritual teacher. Mercury gives the ability to articulate complex spiritual ideas, could become a minister, preacher, astrologer, or spiritual coach. Academic researcher, especially in humanities, theology, comparative cultures, or philosophy. Mercury here loves to dive deep into intellectual rabbit holes. Diplomat or cultural ambassador, excellent for fostering cross-cultural understanding, can navigate diverse belief system and communicate with tact. Online educator or course creator, modern version of the ninth house teachings reaches a global audience. Perfect for podcasts, YouTube lectures, or writing e-courses on niche topics. So, yes. Um, that's a wrap up today's journey to Mercury in the ninth house. This is also my placement. So, yeah, remember, astrology is a map, not a mandate. It shows us where our mind wants to roam and how we wired to seek truth. So, if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with our fellow stargazers. So, yeah, I will try to in the future offer a reading for whoever interested for natal birth chart reads, and I will put a link on all of my videos soon. So yeah, if you have any ideas or if you want some placements that you want me to cover for this for my series of podcasts, um I'm glad to hear from you. Anything, if you want, whatever you want to cover, um of your placements. So until next time, keep your mind open and your vision vast.